Looking at the map, it's a piece of crap. Why I don't know. Whoops, I'm dead. Oh, snap. Run, 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 but you just can't hide. Fly through the sky, shoot, throw, shoot, another note to read, but it still won't set me free. Map on, map off, brother.
Where the hell am I?
Map on. Shoot, shoot, loot, loot, find a duck. What the fuck? It's just a game of confusion. That's what Control A is to play. Hey, hey. Game of confusion. That's what Control A is to play. Hey, hey. Alright, that's enough of that. Game of confusion. Quiet. Alright. Okay. First of all, humble apologies to the famous R&B group The Temptations for completely bastardizing their 1960s hit single, Ball of Confusion. I couldn't help myself, what can I say? My name is Major Slack, and this is my real walkthrough of the video game Control. First released in August 2019, this mysterious and very confusing balls-to-the-walls third-person shooter showed up as a freebie for me on my PS4 a while back, since I'm a PS Plus subscriber. I have been for a couple of years now, and that means that I get 2 or 3 free games every month. And yeah, I've been piling up a ton of free games on my PS4, most of which I hadn't even hadn't even downloaded and installed. So I didn't really look at them. I got like a bazillion free games, haven't even looked at it, but they're there anytime I want to download them, install them. At first I thought Control was some kind of slow psychological mystery whodunit kind of game, so I kind of turned my nose up at it without even looking at it. You know, it just kind of like took a quick look at the title and the art on the box and said, yeah, okay, whatever. And then it showed up again as a freebie on the Epic Games platform, and I was like, huh, that's one of the games I got for free on my PS4. Well, let's grab it for free on my PC and continue to completely ignore it. Then, just as I was about to start working on a walkthrough for Dishonored, which was my original choice for this walkthrough, I decided to make a short list of games to try to just make sure that Dishonored was the right choice. And Control was first on the list. So I downloaded it, installed it, and played it for about 20 minutes. I'm not kidding, 20 minutes, that's all. And I was instantly sold. I said, okay, Dishonored will have to wait. Sorry for all you Dishonored fans, but yeah, no. This is what I'm doing. I absolutely loved Control. Loved the graphics, loved the atmosphere, and the combat was totally off the hook. Just a hell of a lot of fun. Can't believe I almost overlooked this. So this is it. This is my new real walkthrough. Like I said, it will be a real walkthrough. I already beat the game, and I'm now working on 2 more playthroughs, one on my PS4 and one here on my PC, and using these playthroughs to take extensive notes to feed this walkthrough. Alright, so no bumbling and stumbling around here. I know exactly what I'm doing, and the primary focus of my commentary will be on strategy and navigation. That's not to say that there won't be the occasional cameo appearance from Mr. Fumblefingers and Mr. Mumblemouth and Mr. Wiseacre and, you know, all those guys. That's about it. I don't want to talk too much about the game because there's a fantastic mystery that the game presents as we go along, and I don't want to spoil that. I'll say only this: it's a third-person shooter. The main character's name is Jesse Faden, and the whole adventure takes place in this mysterious shape-shifting government building called the Federal Bureau of Control. Alright, so that's it. Let's get underway.
This is gonna be weirder than usual. Can't be helped. You called me. So here I am. I know I shut you out sometimes. I'm always glad to hear from you. It's just that I get my hopes up. So many times it's led to nothing. I found nothing. It's like We live in a room, and there's a poster on the wall. We stare at it and we think that's the whole world. The room and the poster. The picture's something nice. A landscape, a famous person. Like in that movie, what is it called? The prison movie. The room's a cell, and the picture, it's different for each of us. It can be beautiful or terrible, but we're all transfixed. But it's all a lie. Something to distract us from the truth. They're lying to us. We're lying to ourselves. The room's not the world. The world is much bigger and much stranger. There's a hole hidden behind that poster that leads to the real world. We all feel safe in that room. But sometimes something crawls out from behind the poster. And the ones that see it happen freak out and try to forget what they saw. I'm here. Why did you bring me here? Hello? Anyone here?
Boo! Did I scare you? Alright, I started the game by simply clicking on New Game in the main menu. There are no difficulty levels, there's just one difficulty level. Kick your ass while you're hopelessly lost. That's it. Let's get underway. I'll show you all the options at the end of this video. Every time you see that kind of thing, that circle, white circle thing, that's something to pick up. Most of the time it's just documents. Regarding documents, I will show some of them while Jesse, this is our hero, rather, by the way. This is Jesse Faden, voiced by Courtney Hope, the beautiful and sexy Courtney Hope, right? And documents. Gave this a lot of thought how to handle documents. Jesse Faden is now in civilian mode. I'm going to call it civilian mode. She doesn't have a weapon, and she can't do any, like, she can't use any of her abilities or anything. When I'm in civilian mode, I will pick up and show most of the documents. There is an achievement for picking up 50 documents, 100 documents, and 150 documents, if I recall correctly. I'm not an achievement hunter, nor am I doing a completionist run. So picking up all the documents and showing all the documents is going to very quickly become tedious. I did a few practice runs with commentary, and I realized this is going to be way too tedious showing all the documents. So I will show the documents in the beginning while Jesse is in civilian mode, but that will gradually peter out as the game progresses. Alright, so we already got that document. Here is your inventory. Loadout refers to your weapons. You have 2 weapon slots. That's all you have throughout the game. There's more than 2 weapons, but you can only have 2 weapons equipped that you can swap back and forth while you're in combat. If you want to swap out weapons beyond that, you have to go to the inventory and swap them out here. Alright, but you can only have 2 weapons loaded. Assets, this refers to materials. Materials refers to stuff you use to craft weapons, mods, and to upgrade weapons. And clearance level, that refers to keycards. These two are unrelated. Okay, so it may seem like they are, but they aren't. Missions, there's 10 main missions and I believe 19 side missions. And on top of that, there's a whole bunch of other, what they call bureau alerts that they just throw at you randomly. There's a ton of other stuff. There's challenges too. There's just a ton to do in this game, right? And I'll show you more about that later. Collectibles. This is basically all the documents. The game will sometimes feed you documents about enemies. That will go right here. It'll feed you this automatically without you even have to pick them up, right? And then there's various other documents. Here's the one we just picked up. most of them strike that. I would say all of them are just fluff. I don't believe there's a single document that actually helps you solve a puzzle. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. However, that being said, I strongly recommend that you read all the documents. Read them all, because it really adds to the atmosphere. But like I said, I'm not going to do that because it's going to slow down the walkthrough. Alright? And you get videos here in your multimedia. Right? So that's what that's all about. Let's get underway. Here's another document. Viewer expenditures. This is another thing. A lot of the documents are blacklined, so they're not going to make any sense anyways, or they'll only partially make sense. What you're really looking for as you're exploring around is item boxes. The item boxes will give you valuable loot. Alright, now I want everybody to take note of this couch here. Some of you left their briefcase. There is the front door to the building, the Federal Bureau of Control. And right here is a picture of Atar, the janitor. Alright? Take note of this. Why, Slack? You'll see why later. Search all bathrooms. You might find an item box. You're not going to find one here, but make a habit of doing that.
Federal Bureau of Control. All these years I've been looking for them, and they were hiding in plain sight.
What do we got here? Security order. And you can only imagine what this is all about. A shark in his toilet, although secure, we've been given permission to keep it as a pet following basic protocol. I don't know. Make up your own story. Okay, you can pause the video and read this up if you so desire.
Hello?
Here we go.
Hey, excuse me.
There you are. You are here about the job. Janitor's assistant. You need to go to the interview. Go that way to the elevator.
Thanks. Elevator that way. Got it.
Very good. I'm Ahti, the janitor, by the way. You'll work for me. You can say I sent you. If they don't hire you, niin Johan on helvet. There be work for the axe. Take them behind the sauna, jumalauta.
I've done enough night shift loner jobs to know it makes us come off weird. Ahti the janitor is a friendly face in my book.
Better than somebody with no face at all. Think about it. No face.
But that said, I know what you're thinking. If there's an axe murderer around, that's him.
I like it that she seems unfazed that the janitor can apparently read her thoughts. Also, he said the elevator is that way, but we know that the main lobby is that way, right? Let's go back and see what happened to the main lobby. Uh-oh, it's gone. Uh-oh, uh-oh. What's going on here? Oh, here we go. And there's our red briefcase. There's the main lobby. But the picture of Atar, the janitor, or Ati, the janitor, has now been replaced with an elevator. So the building has already begun shape-shifting. Oh no! Okay, so we were told to take the elevator.
The cell and the poster. I was 11 years old the first time I saw behind the poster. They told me I imagined it. I've been trying to pull it down ever since. Will you help? Did I lose you there for a moment? You know what's on my mind. My baby brother, Dylan. 17 years since the men of this bureau took him.
It's very unusual that an NPC will actually speak to... It seems like she's speaking directly to you, the player, in her thoughts, which is really cool. That's way cool. All right, so we're still in civilian mode. I left the music on for atmosphere. It is now going off. Like I said, I hate music in video games, so that's going off. One thing I really like is this option here. They really think about YouTubers. You copyrighted music, so that is also going totally off. All right, so henceforth, no more music. We got the door here, clearance level 1. We don't have a clearance level 1 keycard, so we can't go there. This area is unmapped, so there's nothing we can do here with regards to the map, that is. Approved terminology reminder. Okay, you can pause the video and read that up if you so desire. We now have a new mission. The oldest house. It's our first main mission. Nothing here. Barbara, I am not to be disturbed. Cancel all my appointments for the day. For the rest of the week, in fact. I can't stress them, Barbara. Not a single one. Signed, Trench. Who's Trench? Trench is... Uh-oh, what was that? Trench is the office of the director, Zachariah Trench. So, Trench is the director. And we have a new objective. Investigate the noise.
Shit.
Uh-oh.
Shit.
Uh-oh. Pick up the gun, Jesse.
You want me to pick it up?
Yeah,
the
pick it
murder
up.
weapon?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep. Go pick it up.
And there goes the poster.
Objects of power can cause or be results of AWE's altered world events, intrusions upon the perceived reality. Now, the service weapon is, of course, a prime example of an OOP, a very powerful one, ingrained in the Bureau's DNA, a key component in our prime candidate program. Come out of that Russian roulette a winner, and you're it.
Alright, we have been transported to our first astral plane. You're going to be facing a lot of these throughout the game. Typically every time you get a new object of power. It's basically an obstacle course. If you have tutorials turned on, it's going to teach you about jumping and climbing walls, etc. So just press the jump button, whatever it is for you to get over this gap. To climb walls that are not too high, get it right up against the wall, press forward and press the jump button. She'll climb up. You have a melee attack, whatever that is for you. For me, it's T. That's the only way you can take this guy out, do a melee attack. And once you do that, you get a gun. Climb up.
The same gun.
Yep. Grab it. Alright,
Okay.
we have a weapon.
Now I have a gun.
That's right. Alright. In Control, you basically have infinite ammo. In a sense. You have a clip, see? And as I'm taking shots, it's emptying out. As long as you don't completely empty out the clip, the ammo will recharge on the fly. Okay, you have 14 shots in the pistol by default. If you completely empty out the clip, you're going to go into a timeout mode where you have to wait till the pistol recharges completely before you can fire it again, for example. See, now it's recharging. You can't do anything until it completely recharges. So it might be to your advantage to not empty out the clip because it will constantly recharge on the fly. See that? As long as you don't empty it out, it will recharge on the fly. So that's something to consider in your strategy. Alright, now it's a little bit of target practice here. You have to shoot these guys down to build the bridge. So just basically shoot them down. Recharging. Done. Okay, see those blue orbs there? That's your only health. Okay, the health bar is in the bottom left corner. It's the blue bar with the plus sign beside it. That is your health. I'm going to show you about the blue orbs. Probably better explain after this next part. Let's jump down. And now it's a little more target practice. Enemies are going to spawn there. The best thing to do is just go in this corner. You get all the enemies nicely grouped together coming at you. So those of you playing on the console version, it'll make it a lot easier to shoot them down. Shoot out there. Come back here. And here they come. Headshots do extra damage. Sometimes if you do enough headshots, you can actually knock the enemy down. If they get too close, do a melee attack. Go. There, see those blue orbs there? That's your only source of health. See that health coming back there? See, my health bar is a little bit depleted. There is no health regen whatsoever. None throughout the entire game. Unless there's a mod that gives health regen. I don't think so. Let me just quickly Google that. I doubt it very much. Those little blue health orbs are your only way of recovering health. You can make your health bar bigger. Hang on. Yep, there are no health. There is no health regen. Later on when we get skills, you can make your health bar bigger, and you can collect mods that will make these things give you more health back. But that's it. So you're relying on enemy kills and or damaging enemies to get these little health orbs to pop out, and then often you have to do like these kind of like hit and run where you run out, grab the health orbs, run back to your position, like your standoff position, and then, you know, continue. All right, so that's it. And once you gun down all the enemies here, you get this little pull switch here. Pull the switch, and you continue.
Something's coming. This threat. An attack. Duty as director. Keep the Bureau safe.
Did you hear that? It's the dead man. Right after the pyramid spoke to me, and it was just noise, and I understood every word. And this gun's alive. You know what? I'm happy. Happy to be here.
With the gun.
Things have quieted down outside. Is it safe to go?
Yeah, sure, why not? Let's go back outside. Okay, so we're back in the director's office, and uh-oh. Certainly doesn't look like Kansas, Toto. What's going on here? Uh-oh. I don't know.
You can't let this happen. 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 You stopped it. You... Oh, thank you. That was... horror.
Okay, 3 enemies are going to spawn there. The best thing you should do is come over here, take cover here. Here, I got a knockdown from the headshot, as you can see. This guy around the corner there. There we go. 3 guys, that's it. Alright, game mechanics. First of all, this is your game currency. It's called Source. You get this from killing enemies, and I think sometimes from completing missions. I forget, but mostly from killing enemies. This is your ability points. You spend ability points in the skill tree. I can't show you the skill tree because that's not going to appear until the end of mission 2. There is a death tax. Every time you die, 10% of your source gets taken away. Now, the thing with the death tax is, when you die, you get respawned at the last checkpoint. Often, as you when you die and then you respawn at the last checkpoint, you have to work your way through a whole bunch of the same enemies again, and all the enemies are giving you source every time you kill them. So what happens is when you die, the game lets you keep all the source that you earned right up to the point that you died. So what happens is, often if you're stuck at a certain part where you keep dying, and then you keep going back and to the checkpoint and then playing through all those enemies again, you often earn more source than the 10% death tax that was levied on you when you die. So there are times when you have to replay a certain part 5 times, for example, if it's really hard and you can't get through it. But then at the end, you come out with more source than you would have had if you'd simply been successful the first time, if you know what I mean. So it's kind of weird. It's not always bad to suffer a death tax. You can even exploit that. You can even, once you go through a certain area, you can kill a whole bunch of enemies and then just simply exit the game, reload the game, and the game will let you keep all the source that you earned. Then you can just go back through that area again, kill all those enemies again, and in effect farm source. All right. Now, game mechanics with the gun. there is a accuracy penalty if you shoot from the hip. So let's just back up here. That's shooting from the hip. Let's see if we can get some. See, there's the grouping from shooting from the hip. Okay. Now let's just aim above that and aim. Okay, let's take a look at the grouping. See, that's shooting from the hip. That's aiming. So as you can see, it is to your advantage to aim your weapon at all times. All right. Next, cover. You can crouch to take cover behind objects. Jessie, she can peek. Okay, if you aim your weapon, you can peek, and if you release aim, she'll go back to cover automatically, right? However, as soon as you take a shot, she remains standing up. So if you want to use this kind of cover system like crouching, you're gonna have to like crouch manually after shooting. Okay, you're only allowed to peek, release aim, and she'll go back automatically. So shoot and press crouch immediately after. So you're gonna have to like use crouch cover manually. I don't use crouch cover that much. I find it a lot more effective to use what I call corner cover, which is what you saw me doing here. Okay, get yourself right beside a corner. The best is to have the corner on Jessie's left side. All right, and then you can like use this corner as partial cover as you gun down the enemies. Okay, it gives you really good cover, and you can kind of shoot around the corner. It doesn't work as well on the, let's say you're over here on the right corner. You can switch sides, eh? There's an option to switch sides, like which shoulder you're looking over. But because Jessie is always holding her gun in her right hand, typically the line of fire is coming from her right shoulder. So if you're taking cover on this side, as you can see, the wall is getting in the way, so it's not really as effective. I find it's a lot more effective to use left corners for corner cover. See, even looking over her other shoulder there, it doesn't really work that well. Okay? Even looking over her left shoulder, it doesn't work that well. So I find I like to stick to looking over her right shoulder and using left corner cover like that. Even here I'm hitting the wall, but it just makes more sense to me. I'm going to be using this a lot, especially in the first boss fight coming up. It's going to be your best protection. Alright. Fire extinguishers will blow up. Shoot them and they blow up. And that's about it. The rest I'll show you as we go along. Okay, another clearance level 1 keycard is required here. We're going to get that shortly in the second mission. There's another fire extinguisher. Alright, and we now have a map. In a word, the map sucks. Everybody hates the map in Control. It absolutely sucks. Totally sucks. The first and biggest problem with it is it doesn't pause the game. If you turn on the map, like if there's enemies out there right now, they'd be shooting the shit out of me while my map is on. So the game doesn't let you study the map at the most critical moments. You know, you're like, okay, where am I? I want to go somewhere. I'm trying to get to cover somewhere, but the game's shooting at me. So, that's the number one. Number two, there's no map zoom. And number three, the red arrow, which you see right near the bottom below the director's office label, that is always superimposed on top of everything else. So as you can see, this map has 4 different levels. This is according to how dark the area is. The darkest area are the lowest level, and the lightest areas are the highest levels. Okay, so as you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 different levels here. Now, you have to really look at the map closely and correlate that to your surroundings to figure out often which level you're on. Right now we're on the highlighted level, the very top level. but there's other levels below that, and then that changes as you go from one sector to another. So it gets really, really freaking confusing. The best way to navigate your way around the game is to use the map a little bit to kind of get your general location, and then use signs. Okay, just use the signs. Right now you see a highlighted little diamond. It's kind of like down into the right of the director's office label. That is our quest marker. That's where we're going. All right, so basically we have to work our way south and then back north again to that location there. And I'll just tell you in advance, that is Central Executive. Okay, that's our eventual destination. All right, so that's your tutorial on the map.
The hotline. Secure line of communication. Guide us. Reach the hotline.
The hotline, says the dead man. Okay.
All right, another big fight here in Executive Affairs. As you come into each new area, the question marks get replaced with map labels. And the best place to go in Executive Affairs is the women's bathroom, which is down there. Yeah, that's the best place to make a standout. So let's just go running down there. There's the men's bathroom. And here's the women's bathroom. Go in here and then use corner cover to gun these guys down. Best thing about this is enemies won't come from your right flank here. And you can destroy stuff. Smash through windows, as you see. Let's just get them to come out. That's one down. Typically there's 6 enemies in here, so count your kills and you know when you got them all down. That's 2 down. See that? Got a knockdown from headshots. That's 4 down. There's one guy over there. It's 5 down. Oh wait, there's 7 here. Unless I lost count. Or it could be random. That should be it. That's crafting materials. Pick all those up. Let's take a look here. That would be under assets. Here we go. We have 1 clearance level, or rather 1 undefined reading crafting material. If you look, you're going to get all kinds of different kinds of crafting materials. If you look here, there's always a label here which tells you which sector you'll find this crafting material. So as we progress through the game, you're going to be crafting stuff, and you're going to need certain materials to craft certain stuff. If you want to know where to find that material, look there, okay? Because I believe most of the materials are exclusive to certain sectors. You only find them in certain sectors. Occasionally the game will reward you with a crafting material that's from another sector, but most of the time you have to actually go to that sector to farm this particular crafting material. So for example, if you want to get undefined reading, we have to go to the executive sector, which is where we are now. All right. Now let's take a look, good look around. More crafting materials. When you take down enemies, whenever you meet a new enemy, the game will automatically feed you, pardon me, a document about the enemy, explaining what he's all about. And same with weapons. You'll get a document about the weapon. And as you can see, a lot of this is black lined. And this we already saw.
Objects of power can cause or be results of AWE's altered world events, intrusions upon the perceived reality. A side note, remember to cover their connection to the astral plane as well. Now, this...
Okay, we already saw that. You can use your melee attacks to destroy stuff. It's a lot of fun, actually. You can also upgrade your melee attacks. Yeah, it's like Hulk smash. Alright, so we looked in the woman's bathroom. Something to collect over here.
Reminder, if you experience an unanticipated building shift, follow these simple steps. 1. Search the room for any altered items or objects of power. 2. Carry the altered item or object of power to the nearest safe room. 3. Wait for Bureau staff to find you and the object. If there are no altered items or objects of power in the vicinity, then reach your supervisor via the nearest intercom and await further instructions. Thank you for your attention.
Alright, and all those get saved in your multimedia. So if you want to replay that, just look there. This is pretty funny. Remember, she is turning 46. It's hilarious. Okay, we got a shelter. Always look for shelters, because inside all shelters are item boxes. Item boxes will give you mods and or crafting materials. And I believe this is completely random. So this time we got house memory, so now we have two kinds of crafting materials. Undefined reading and house memory. Hoard all your house memory. That's going to be important. Okay, so as you can see, reading all the documents is going to get old. I'm going to gradually fade that out. I'll read some of them completely arbitrarily. And we discovered a new section, Central Executive. Alright, that's the final destination. This is our first mini boss fight. Okay, let's
Hissing
switch.
sound that tried to invade me earlier. The hiss. Burrowing into everything in this place. Is the hiss your enemy? Alright, it's our enemy.
This is just a
That
radio.
was contagious. It burrows in like an infuriating melody that makes you hum it over and over.
Sorry, I stepped on her dialogue there. That's just a radio. If you have music turned on, you can turn the radio on and off. Okay, you can pause the video, read that up if you so desire. Likewise. Alright, it all jumps off in here. It's the first mini boss fight. Mini bosses are named enemies. There's 4 enemies in here and the mini boss, who's a lot tougher. This is your first encounter with grenade throwing enemies. Basically, the only way to kick off this fight is to jump over this railing here, at which point we won't be able to get out. We'll be locked in this arena here. Alright? This center highlighted area. As long as you don't go in that centered highlighted area, the mini boss won't spawn. Just the other 4 enemies will spawn. And then one enemy is going to spawn right there, so we can gun him down right away. And there's good cover from grenades over here. So if you go right behind there, the only way they can get a grenade at you is to throw a grenade over there. And if that happens, you can just duck around here quickly and then go back. Alright, and then you can like peek over that and gun down all the enemies. Alright, so that's the plan. Let's do it. Go over here. This is perfect cover. Okay, watch out for those grenades. Here's the boss. Try to go for headshots on the boss, because you can knock him down. Keep a close eye on him. He's gonna throw a grenade. See, the grenade comes over here. Just come over here, duck down, keep through another one. You're completely immune. There you go. And he's down. Alright.
Must cleanse control points.
Those are mods. We got 2 of them, and that's crafting materials. Let's take a look at our mods. Go to your weapon, and you see the little plus sign beside it. You get to put 1 mod by default on your pistol. Once you upgrade the weapon, you can get more mod slots. So click on that, and the mod slot we got was damage boost. And you could also sell the mods. See that beside the label says deconstruct, and you can sell it for 50 source. Let's equip this one. And you have the personal mod slot. This one is energy plus 6%. That's hardly worth it. Let's just sell that. Alright. Done and done.
When's the control point? What does that mean? Help me fix it.
Okay, and that means this thing right here, you're going to encounter these frequently throughout the game. Cleanse them all, because this will give you a checkpoint to restart from. Alright, and also give you a fast travel point that you can go to once you get fast travel enabled. Make sure you cleanse them all. I read somebody in one game forum, somebody was going through the game and they ignored all the control points, and they didn't have any fast travel points. Yeah, cleanse them all. So just interact with that. Jesse does her thing. Also, you automatically refill your health by going back to any control point and interacting with it. So that's something you can do in combat if you're near a control point.
You did it! We did it!
Hello? Can you hear me? Are you with us? With the Bureau? Are you still sane?
And as you can see, what happened was when we cleansed the control point, the environment completely changed. It became dehissified, if you will. Okay, and it became like it goes back to its like normal, the way it should be. Okay, before it was hissified, now it's not hissified. Those are that's a name I'm making up. Okay, so now we have to go over there. We're in civilian mode.
Deal with the compromised agents.
Okay, let's interact with this.
I can't tell you how happy I am to talk to somebody sane.
The feeling's mutual. Yeah, I'm Pope, Emily Pope, Dr. Darling's assistant.
My turn. Should I lie? Jesse Faden. I'm just visiting. I should have lied.
Oh shit! You're the new director. Hold on, we're coming out.
Director Faden. Call me Jesse.
Okay, Jesse. I'm Emily. Look, somehow, this hostile force, this
Hiss?
that works? Somehow the hiss managed to infiltrate the building without any warning.
And just like that, my name for it is official. The hiss. Like the sound of poison gas leaking in.
We're in full lockdown. It seems to have spread everywhere and to everyone not protected by an HRA. And, extraordinarily, you. You are the director, and that makes you special by definition. Trench is no longer the director, obviously. I'm sorry, I'm talking too much. This whole situation is just a lot.
Trench is dead. Shot.
Ah.
I found his body. And the gun.
Do I tell her it looked like a suicide?
The service weapon.
Also, and this can sound crazy, but he keeps appearing to me, saying things. It's hard to make out, but he told me to cleanse the control point, push the hiss out. The whole room shifted around.
You did that? And you entered the building when it was already in the lockdown before you became the new director? How?
I'm not ready to tell her about you yet.
A janitor let me in.
I love it. This is fucking unbelievable. I can't even... Look, Jesse, I have a million questions, and you probably have a million more.
Like, do you know my brother Dylan? Not yet.
But there's something I need to ask you to do first. If you can cleanse a control point, then you can maybe cure those infected or possessed by the hiss. Because if that's possible, our options are very different.
Emily Pope. I don't know her, but I like her already. She's the opposite of the faceless agency I've blamed for what happened to me for so long. But I can't trust her yet. Or rather, the bureau she's a part of.
Yes. I can try.
I'm speaking for you, of course. We can try it together. Okay. You with me? We did it before. Push the hiss out.
Okay, so what she's referring to is this hiss. I believe it's called hiss. I forget what it's called. Anyways, the game's going to tell us. Just interact with that.
It didn't work. The hiss
Hiss
has
agent.
burned too deep. Ripping it out rips them apart.
Sorry, I stepped on her dialogue there. Yeah. Hiss agent, that's what it's called. There you go. You can read that up if you so desire. Done? Let's go back to Emily
Jesse,
Pope.
over here. We need to make a plan, Jesse.
I can't cleanse them.
I saw. It was worth a shot. Thank you, Director. Jesse.
I'm gonna tell her why I'm here. I'll risk it.
Listen, the Bureau was involved in an incident in my hometown, Ordinary, 17 years ago. The Bureau came in and covered the whole thing up. I've been looking for this place for a long time.
That's enough. Maybe that's too much already. I can't tell her about Dylan and the rest yet.
I've seen mentions of an Altered World event case dealing with Ordinary. You were at Ground Zero as a child? It was one of the big ones, and before my time. And very classified. I can try to dig out some old files for you. My boss, Casper Darling, would know, but he's missing. I think he knew this was coming, or suspected. He came up with the HRAs, the Hadron Resonance Amplifiers. I think they're what saved us. Or a few of us. And Director Trench would know.
Trench. The ghost, or whatever he is. He mentioned something called the hotline. Said I should find it.
It's another object of power, like the gun, an old Bakelite telephone. A direct line of communication between the director and the board. Maybe he can talk to you more clearly through that. I mean, Trench has years and years of experience. He might know how to destroy the hiss.
Where is the hotline?
It's kept in the communications department through the mailroom. It's part of this sector, so we can access it even with the lockdown in place. We'll get the door open for you.
Okay, that's my next stop.
That's Tomasi's department. He's the head of communications. I don't think he had an HRA. He kind of made a point about not wearing one earlier. Keep an eye out.
They call me the director. But that's not me. I'm not a director type. I'm not a leader. Why am I here? I think you already know. Yes, I came for my brother, but there are other reasons too. I said I was looking for answers, but I might never understand them. I'm not looking for proof. This is already it. More than enough. No matter what they told me all those years, I know it's real now. I didn't imagine this. I want to be a part of this world. What scares me shitless is that I finally found it. Only to see the hiss destroy it all.
I know this is all new to you, so don't hesitate to ask me anything you want to know. There are no stupid questions. The door to the comms department is just outside the boardroom back in the lobby. They should have gotten it open by now. Follow the signs to the mailroom. You can get to the hotline containment chamber through there. Good luck, Jesse. See you back here once you have the hotline.
Thanks, Emily.
You girls done? Okay. We just got rewarded with a mod. It's always the same. This health recovery mod. This is a really good mod. This means if you get 20% more health from health orbs that we picked up. So let's equip that. And we got a house memory. I believe that's entirely random. And this is an example of... I believe we got this too. Yeah. See, this material here, as you can see, has alerts beside it. This is the only way you can get this material is by doing alerts. Board, I forget what they're called, board something alerts. But I'll show you that later because they're not available yet. You can actually interact with Emily again and ask her more questions.
The hotline should be in the communications department.
So you can ask her all these questions here. I won't do that, but if you want to do that, go ahead. Get some more backstory.
Thanks, Emily. I'm sure I'll have more questions soon.
Just let me know.
I can hear somebody saying Slack do it. Okay, let's go through all these questions. What the hell?
The hotline should be in the communication.
Where did the hiss come from?
I'm not sure. You said the hiss was here when you entered. Did you see anything like that outside before you came in?
No. No, just inside.
The source is internal then. See, the oldest house is a sprawling complex with openings to other places as well. I don't even know where to start looking. But in the context, it's good news. The lockdown holds. The hiss escaping the building would be the end. Pretty shitty world out there if you ask me, but I wouldn't want the hiss to destroy it.
With you on that, Emily.
Okay, what's the oldest house?
You mentioned the oldest house. What is it?
This building, the Bureau headquarters, the oldest house, is a shifting place. You've seen it. It transcends its physical limits.
I've been to New York a few times. How didn't I notice this place?
It's an attribute of the building. This is a place of power. The oldest house doesn't like attention, so unless you're purposely trying to find it, you don't, which is perfect for us. The work we do here is essential, but unstable. The Bureau prefers not to be noticed. And we need strong walls to make sure nothing gets out.
So without you, I never would have found the front door.
Okay. This trench guy. I keep hearing him in my head. Is he a ghost? Haunting me?
I doubt we're talking about a ghost in the traditional sense, but an echo maybe. See, if he was killed by the service weapon, your gun, maybe it's his final thoughts recorded by the bullet in his brain, like a deep space probe sending back data. But that's just a hypothesis on my part. I'd need the gun to research it. But you better hold on to that given the circumstances.
I think I will. Yeah. So HRA stop you from becoming Hiss?
It seems that way. I mean, I hadn't even heard of an HRA until a few weeks ago when Dr. Darling started handing them out. Well, I began analyzing mine as soon as I got it. I mean, each one seems to emit a powerful short-range frequency way beyond anything I've ever seen.
Doesn't the timing seem suspicious?
I thought that too. Dr. Darling usually likes to unveil his latest breakthrough in big presentations. With these, he just passed them out. Yeah, his behavior makes me wonder what exactly he knew.
Can you tell me what an object of power is exactly? This is all, well, new to me.
Don't worry, I love going over the basics. So objects of power are mundane objects that house paranatural energies and have developed a link to the astral plane and can thus be controlled, which is what differentiates them from altered items, which are still housings of paranatural forces, but are more volatile and cannot be bound in the peri-utilitarian sense. Got it?
Did she memorize this?
Got it. Thanks. Thanks, Emily.
And that's it.
I'm sure I'll have more questions soon.
Just let me know.
Alright, so we completed the first mission. Welcome to the oldest house. Second mission is unknown caller. We also have a control point. We actually have 3 control points. This is the central executive control point. Interact with that. You can fast travel to any other control point that you have discovered. No, we have not discovered any other control points. We will discover them in the second mission. So that's where we are right now. You can also change outfits at any... Actually, you can only change outfits at the central executive at this location right here. We don't have any outfits yet. You're not going to get any outfits till right near the end of the game. You saw some of the outfits that Jesse can equip in the intro. You get those by either completing the main mission line and or doing side quests. Okay, we're not going to be concerned with that at all yet because, like I said, that's not going to become an issue until near the end of the game. And typically when you interact with any control point, we're going to get a lot more control points as we explore the map and the rest of the game. You get the ability to spend your ability points, but at this particular point in the game we don't have that option yet. And you can also get the option to craft stuff, craft weapons, craft mods, and upgrade your weapons. That also becomes available at the end of the next mission. Alright, and that is it. At the end of every mission, you get a hard save, like I said. If you quit to main menu, and let me just take this opportunity to show you all the options that are available. Mission select. If I go here, because I've completed the game, it's going to do a little bit of a spoiler. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to mission select and then edit it out and go back to the bottom of the list if possible. There we go. Okay, so yeah, there's a bit of a spoiler for like if you see all the missions the main missions. There's a bit of a spoiler, and I can't say anything more about that. We've just completed the first mission. Welcome to the oldest house. Now, unknown caller is the next mission that's up the bat. Every time you complete a mission, the next mission that's available become available here in your mission select list. And this is a hard save. So no matter what, if you don't like the way things are progressing, you can always go back to unknown caller and re-begin the entire mission from this point here with everything that you had at this point, which includes ability points, your money, everything. So you get hard saves. These are all the hard saves that I collected through my first run through the game. As you make subsequent runs through the game, these hard saves get overwritten by your next run. So now unknown caller is from my new run. This is from my old run, if you will. All right, so that's the way that works. Options. I'm just going to quickly scroll through all the options so you can see what's available for you. It looks like there's a God mode that you can turn on and off here. I haven't actually experimented with that. I'll probably experiment with that in my PS4 run. And one hit kills. Of course, that's all turned off. All the controls are completely configurable, even on the console version. Well, I can only vouch for the PS4 version. I'm assuming it's the same for the Xbox version. So I remapped all my controls. My control configuration is heavily based on the left-hand touch typing position. So that's why it's not ASDF, the default. It's DCSF. Touch typing. Google that. Go to the Wikipedia page and it'll tell you all about touch typing. It's the ability to type without looking at the keyboard. And there's a whole system with that. That's why, a lot of you are wondering, why do I have my controls configured to DCSF? That's why. All right. And I've remapped everything else to the way I like it. I always do things a certain way. For example, all my video games, I always put the map as B so that my muscle memory is always the same for every single game. I always put my inventory at G. I always put missions at J, etc., etc. So I don't have to think about where, certain actions are. I just keep them the same for all the games. Audio. Music off, like I said. I don't like music in video games at all, so the music is off. And they give you this option to mute copyrighted music. This is fantastic. They think about YouTubers, so yeah, that's going off, of course. Display. I found there was a problem with screen tearing. I managed to fix it by going borderless in display mode and keeping VSync off, and that cleared up the screen tearing completely. And everything else is maxed out. Have a pretty good rig. It's getting old, but it's good enough for this game. It's more than they recommend the system requirements. I can max everything out, no problem. These two options I always turn off. I can't stand motion blur in video games, nor can I stand film grain. And my GPU does not have ray tracing, so that's off too. Subtitles are on. This is the default. Everything else is at the default. That's it. Alright, back into the game. I'm going to sign off here. I want to thank you all very much for watching. And if you thought this video was remotely entertaining and or informative, you know what to do. Give me a thumbs up. And subscribe to my channel for more Control. And don't forget to post a comment, because I love to hear from my target audience. Alright, that's it. See you next time for the unknown caller. Hey guys, real walkthroughs like these are an endangered species here on YouTube. For a complete lowdown on the YouTube video game walkthrough scene, check out my Patreon page and please consider making a donation to yours truly, Major Slack, to help keep real walkthroughs alive on YouTube. You can donate as little as $1. That's $1, that's all. That's all it takes. Alright? Thanks a lot. Really appreciate it.